Douglas Bickford. It's 10:27 a.m. here on the 19th of August 2021. Now, I am teaching self-esteem on YouTube because pushing 10 months now, I got out of a toxic relationship. And the only reason I got in that toxic relationship 3.5 years ago, or 4 years ago now, May of 17, was that I had no self-esteem. Okay. And that is because I was sexually molested as a child. So I was emotionally, physically, and sexually abused as a child from my evil father. Okay. And my mother all would just go along with it because she had no self-esteem. She didn't know what to do about it. So that's how it is. Okay. He was in his 70. I think he was 70 when he died. My mom was 83, I think, when she died. But all kinds of weird stuff went on with that age group, okay? And I'm 65, okay? He did it to me, my brother, and 4 sisters. All of us. So destroyed all of us. We have no relationship because of it, okay? I never knew why. But I came clean with it 16 February 21. Started talking about it on YouTube. Number one, if it happens to you as a child, you will, most of the time, 99% of the people stuff it and they never talk about it because it's embarrassing. You think it's your fault. But guess what? It's not your fault. It's not my fault. Okay. Anyway, so after I left that toxic relationship, November 2nd, 2020, I'll never forget the day. It'll go down in my life as one of my life-changing moments. I was down and out, depressed, hurt, didn't know where I was going, had confused, had no idea where I was even going to head. All I knew is I had to get away from this woman and her crazy family, okay? Because she was going to kill my cat. It woke me up. She'd already killed 2 of them. She literally has so much no self-esteem. She impresses people by killing animals. Okay, that's my ex-wife. All right. I mean, she impresses people by killing animals. It's crazy, but there's a lot of people like that. You know, the hunting thing, the trophy hunter, the person running around with a gun, killing innocent animals in the woods, and then they go brag about it, put it up on Facebook, that they killed a deer, bear, turkey, whatever it is. All right. My ex-wife, first one, her husband is exactly that. Okay. He brags about it. He kills anything. If he's out in the woods with his gun, he will kill anything. And then he puts pictures up on Facebook. I mean, it's insanity. He killed a coyote just because it was looking at him. All right. Then he put it on Facebook, laying right beside him, along with his dead deer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he enjoys it, right? I mean, it's crazy but that's how people are. That's the world we live in. But anyway, I got out of the toxic relationship because I will never be abused, and I was abused for 3.5 years by that woman and her family. And it'll never happen to me again. I'll never put myself through it. And it's all because I found a book. The first place I landed was in my son's driveway with an old RV because I left everything I owned. 1987 Prowler trailer, 23 foot, and a 1987 Dodge van with some clothes, my 3 cats, and nothing else. I left everything I brought into that relationship. My life's savings, okay, everything I had collected my whole life, I left, okay, because she was going to kill my cat. And she literally was going to kill my cat. She said she'd kill my cat because my cat scratched her mother in the face. And The reason that happened because her fat mother lied about how it happened. She said the cat, for no reason, just jumped up the floor, off the floor, and got in her face, started scratching her. Bold face lie from her mother. Okay. Then my wife jumped on the bandwagon and she was going to kill my cat because of it. She told me, well, we'll decline and then we'll put him out in the barn. And I actually went along with that. I said, okay, we'll decline, but he's not going to live in the barn. He'll die in the barn with no claws. Okay. And she said, nope, he's living in the barn. And then she actually told me, I'll kill him. You'll resent me if I get rid of him. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. And then this all blew up on the 1st of November. I left the 2nd of November because of my cat. My cat woke me up to what I had married into. I would never say no to her the whole 3.5 years. I gave her everything she wanted, and she still abused me along with her family, her brothers, her daughter, her mother, her father when he was alive was abusive. And anyway, that's how I ended up with self-esteem because I ended up my son's driveway in my RV. I lasted 6 days at that play hellhole because he's married to an alcoholic, raging alcoholic woman just like I was. And he can't say no to her either. And she just beats him down like a redheaded stepchild. And then she's got him totally convinced that there ain't nothing wrong with her and it's all of everybody else. And now he's in that mode. Okay. And they kill animals. It's crazy. And they, just like I was doing in that relationship, my wife was exactly what his wife is, which is like a psychopath, not towards humans, but towards animals. They can get away with killing animals. Okay. My wife was like that. She loved shooting deer. She loved chopping the heads off of the chickens and the ducks and the turkeys. She got it off. It was a little ego, and then she impressed she did it to impress her family. Okay. Oh, she's a tough Idaho girl that can kill animals, right? And then literally she shot one of my cats in the head with a 22 because I couldn't afford a vet bill. I could have come up with the money. I have to live with this. But one of the ways to get over this trauma in your life is to talk about it. I've made groups on YouTube, 5 of them, I think, now. One of them is get past emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. You have to talk about this stuff, folks. Anyway, I got the book. It's called The Portable Therapist. And the concept in this book that gave me self-esteem on steroids, self-love, self-confidence, self-worth, that's what it's called, is look at yourself in the mirror, say, I love you, and say, I love my inner child, and keep saying it over and over again and never stop. To maintain self-esteem, you have to practice it daily. Then get the book, is in a link in the description of this video, and get the book and read it for yourself. It will change you from the inside out. You won't even be the same person if you go through this book and do the concepts in it. And it's very simple to attain self-esteem. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, okay? You cannot have a healthy relationship, especially a romantic one, if you don't have self-esteem, okay? You get exactly what you are. You will attract exactly what you are. If you don't love yourself, you'll attract somebody that don't love themselves. And then you can't love or be loved without self-esteem. So the person that you meet and get hooked up with will be somebody that is wanting you to fulfill their needs like you're wanting them to fulfill your needs. Only you can fulfill your needs. Only you know what you want. So you have to love yourself before you ever get in in a relationship, or you will end up in a toxic relationship like I have for 4 marriages. And then once you get a self-esteem, self-love, by that saying those two things to yourself in the mirror daily for the rest of your life, you won't be around toxic people anymore. You cut yourself, I have cut myself off from all of them. I will never, ever be in that position again. I'll never put my inner child, I'll never put Douglas Bickford in that again. I've cut myself off from my ex wife, her husband, my grandkids, my own children, because they all abused me, because that's all I knew because of my sex abuse as a child. So I am like free and clear of toxic relationships, including my own family. But that's how you have to be. You have to be that if you want to survive, okay? Because you keep going back and they're going to keep abusing you. Just like I have no idea what they're saying about me because I haven't talked to any of them. I haven't talked to my daughter in not pushing 10 months. And I won't talk to her. The last thing she said to me was, "You need to help Cassandra out." That was a woman that was abusing me for 3.5 years. "She never did nothing to me." "You need to go. You need to give her money, Dad. You left her." No, she had her mother there paying all the bills. I tried to go back twice. And if she wanted to, she should have got away from her mother. And because her mother moved in, okay, and she always had her brother living on the property, okay. Raging alcoholic, drunk, uh, hoarder, drug addict, alcoholic, bully, racist. He'd go off on my wife about, every time he wasn't stoned, he'd come in there just raging about black people. How, anybody that came from Africa has a low IQ, right? I mean, unless you're white, okay? Oh no, all their IQs only like 63. But of course his was, according to him, was 130 something or something like that. But he wasn't smart enough to quit smoking, knowing that it caused cancer. He wasn't smart enough to know that drinking causes liver damage. And he wasn't smart enough to know that pot damages your brain cells. And he was so intelligent, right? He had rotting teeth in his head, okay? Just like black and everything else, right? And he gets like that stimulus check, the $1,400, right? Instead of going get all those teeth pulled out and getting dentures, which he could have afforded to do, even with $1,400, he went and bought a bazooka. Okay, and he's all proud of that gun that he bought. It was like I don't know, 308 or something. Big, big, big gun, and he came in bragging about that. Okay. He always bragged, but their whole family bragged. My wife was always bragging about how great she was. And, but anyway, that's what I got myself into because I had no self esteem. Okay. In May of 2017 when I put an ad on Craigslist. And then, like I said, my cat woke me up, and I believe it came from the Great Spirit to wake me up and to realize that she would kill him, just like she killed 2 other of my cats. I mean, she literally enjoyed chopping heads off of chickens. She like got off on it, and ducks, and then turkeys, and shooting goats in the back of the head, and she laughed about this stuff. When I first met her, I mean, 4 months into the marriage, I knew I made a huge mistake, especially when she killed 3 goats with a 308 point blank range. And then later on, I within like, as soon as she started drinking because she was an alcoholic, started laughing about it with her friend, Kathy. Okay. How I blew their brains. I mean, it's, shoot somebody in the back of the head with a 308 at a point blank range. You see what it does to their head. She laughed about it. Okay. That's when I knew I had got into this terrible relationship. And then it just got worse and worse and worse, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I had no idea why. I had no idea when I got in that relationship. I had no self-esteem. Anyway, and the reason I know is because I found this book in a box, buried in a box at my son's house. I believe it was put there by a creator just so I could find it, so I could find myself. Because I'm full of self-esteem now, just because of the saying those two things in the mirror and then reading the book. Anyway, I'm going through this book chapter by chapter. This is the third time in this book, and it will change your life, folks. Get the book. I am your mentor. I can be your mentor. I can help you through the change process because change is very painful. Anyway, you can contact me at 458-232-5238. Now, here's chapter 31. How do I accept myself just how I am? This question may be the most important one in this book. The answer lies in learning to accept the reality of ourselves without necessarily agreeing with or liking all the feelings or separate components of what we are accepting. This means that we can agree with or approve of the totality or wholeness without agreeing with or approving of all of our characteristics. This is the opposite of our training. She calls it training, I call it brainwashing, which implies that we must be perfect before we can accept, agree with, or approve of ourselves. It comes from the television, folks. Turn it off. We can begin to accept the reality of ourselves, our totalities, as we are right now without needing to agree or approve with all of our parts, our roles, our behaviors. Acceptance does not mean understanding, just as most of us will never understand all the complexities of life, war, famine, pain, and death. So we will never understand all the reasons of the complexity of ourselves. Acceptance does not mean change. Our acceptance of life does not change it, and our acceptance of ourselves will not change us. What then is acceptance? It means to take something, to receive willingly, to approve. It may be difficult to approve of ourselves when we are wishing that we are different, but it is critical for the development of self-esteem to begin to accept the reality and totality of ourselves. Acceptance means seeing ourselves as we are right now and allowing ourselves to be. As Popeye so wisely stated, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And it is enough for this moment. Acceptance of self means really looking at yourself and seeing what you are inside and out, without judgment. It is the same process as meditating on yourself or being an objective observer of yourself. You suspend the judgment and see what you're all about. You take a good hard look at the reality of yourself. This process is not easy, but it is necessary. One way to do this is to stand naked in front of the mirror and look at yourself. Do not stop looking when you see something you do not like. Keep looking until you become neutral about what you are seeing. Now you have observing eyes. Keep looking at yourself until you see past the skin, the fat, and the surface. Keep looking until you can see through the externals. Do not be afraid. You are observing the reality of yourself. And when you have seen it all, accept it. This is you, warts and all. You will see some good things, external and internal, that you want to keep, and you will see some things that you want to get rid of. You will see a human being. Do not act or react, merely observe. And when you are finished, tell yourself that everything you have seen is okay. Not good or bad, right or wrong, but just okay. This is acceptance. Another way to learn to accept yourself is to take a piece of paper and draw a vertical line down the middle. On one side, label the column things I like about me. Label the other side things I don't like about me. Then fill in both columns. Take your time and add things as they occur to you. Again, do not be afraid. Most people find it easier in the don't like side and they have more difficulty with the like side. This is because of our faulty training, brainwashing. One big way they brainwash us is television, folks, and the radios. They tell us the world's perfect, and they show us all perfect people, perfect everything, right? Turn it off until you attain self-esteem, at least until you can realize that it's not reality. Okay, until it doesn't affect you when you. Okay, I refuse to watch it. Okay, but anyway, it's one of the big things they use against us to train us to keep us with no self-esteem. Keep at it until you have a composite picture of yourself. If you need help, ask your family and friends, especially your role models, for help. When you have finished, think about a coin. A coin has two sides. Neither side is right or wrong, or better. Now think of your list on two sides of a coin. In order to have one side, you must have the other. Try to figure out how the one side depends on the other. For example, if you like the fact that you are an organized person and you dislike the fact that you're too compulsive over certain things, try to see the relationship between the two. You cannot always be organized without sometimes being compulsive. If you like the fact that you're patient and dislike the fact that you're sometimes slow and pedantic, again, see the relationship between the two. You may really like the fact that you are a generous person, financially and emotionally, but you may dislike the fact that sometimes you feel that others take advantage of you. Can you see the relationship between the two sides? The light side and the dark side. The side we like and show to others, and the side we dislike and try to keep hidden. Nearly everything you do not like has an opposite in something you do like. If you need help finding the positive side to something negative, ask for help. Remember, you cannot be perfect, and also remember to suspend judgment. Just as you cannot be perfect, you may also cannot be a perfect failure. Everything that you do not like about yourself has a counterpart in something positive. Stop looking at only the negatives and accept the positives. Try to find the balance between the two. Acceptance is the beginning. It allows change to occur. You do not have to change in order to accept yourself. Your role models will see positives in you. Your role models, by seeing the good in you, will give you permission to see the good in yourself. Do not be afraid that good is there. And there is good in you, folks. Just have to accept it and acknowledge it. Anyway, there's another powerful chapter for you out of the book, Portable Therapist. Like, sub, and share these very important life-changing videos. I can be your mentor. Call me at 458-232-5238. This is Douglas Bickford signing off. Till tomorrow, I'll make another, have another chapter for you out of the Portable Therapist. Have a great day.